Hello and welcome to TVC News. We begin the news at this hour with the development on Justice Walter Onnoghen's defense. We can tell you that the suspended CJN has closed his defense at the Code of Conduct Tribunal after calling his first witness. Justice Onnoghen opened his defense on April 1st, 2019. The tribunal had adjourned sitting until today, where the defendant called his first witness, Olariwaju Busari, his driver. The tribunal also granted leave to the suspended CJN to subpoena a director at the CCB in Benin, who was to appear before the tribunal as the defendant's witness. At the resumed trial, counsel to the defendant, Chris Uche, informed the court that the defendant has come to a conclusion to close his case. This is pursuant to paragraph 14 of the practice direction of the CCT. TVC News correspondent Celestina Iria joins us for more on this. Now, Celestina, talk to us about this the closure of the CJN's case. Give us some update here.
Well, looking at what transpired in court in the tribunal today, the trial of the suspended CJN in no time will be coming to an end. And we could recall that the trial commenced in this very tribunal in January 14th, 2019, where the charges were taken to the CCB and it was lodged at the CCT. And also we could recall that this trial has been shaping with different submissions, plenary objections and position held by the tribunal. But moving forward and looking at what happened today, we were surprised that the suspended CJN, through his counsel, informed the tribunal that he will be closing his defense today. At the last adjourned date, the tribunal actually granted leave to the suspended CJN to subpoena a director of the CCB in Benin, who was to appear before the tribunal today to give testimony on behalf of the suspended CJN. But the counsel to the defendant asked for 14 days so he could file his final written address, and also the prosecution counsel actually objected, stating that giving dates for filing of final written address is at the discretion of the tribunal. But the position of the tribunal today is that the tribunal gave 3 days each to both counsel to file their final written address and adjourn to 15th of April for adoption of that same written addresses. And also what the chairman of the tribunal said today is that on the 15th, the tribunal will fix a date to deliver judgment and also rule on the issue on the motion raised by the defendant challenging the jurisdiction of the tribunal, and also the motion raised seeking the chairman of the tribunal to recuse himself from the trial so the defendant could have justice.
All right, you talked about the fact that the case will be closing at April 15th, of course. So tell us the details of the defense put together by the counsels to the CJ and Onnoghen. Well, during the commencement of the trial up to this very moment, the defense counsel have raised a lot of preliminary objections, first to the jurisdiction of the tribunal to first entertain the matter, and also a motion seeking the chairman to recuse himself, which the tribunal had actually deferred ruling on. And also the defendant raised a motion of a no-case submission, stating that the prosecution counsel have not been able to establish a prima facie case against the defendant to enable him enter the defense. But the tribunal in its wisdom ruled against the submission, stating that evidence before this tribunal, which is a written statement deposed to by the defendant, stating that he actually forgot to update his asset declaration form, is enough for him to enter his defense. And also, when the defendant opening his defense said he will be calling about 3 witnesses, and the first witness he called to the stand was his driver, who gave an account of how he and the CJN acquired the... All right, Celestina, thank you very much for talking to us. We'll be getting back to you in the course of our subsequent bulletin to get more updates.